Hi, I'm Birdie Nickens. If you are watching, I want to thank you for taking the time out to join in and listen. Today, I want to address a question that I've been hearing for quite some time, and it is what happened to the children today, the ones that we deal with currently, the teenagers and young adults. And so, you know, I wanted to see what was said about it, because, like I said, I've been hearing the question from people that I know and uh, people that, that you see and talk to on a regular basis and stuff. And so I Googled it to find out a few things. I had been reading for some times, but the some of the information can get outdated that we learned years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, 10, 15, whatever. And so I asked the question to Google, about the percentages of children born healthy and uh, with innate abilities. And Google knows everything like me. That's a joke. Um, but anyway, when you gather information from several sources and people, you do get a broader perspective of what we think. And so they said that 97% to 100, well, actually 97, I believe, a percentage of children are born pretty healthy. And so that would indicate that they are strong enough to learn and, that there will not be any defects that will interfere with their ability to pick up information and stimulus from their environment. Let me see, they also said that, say, what did Google say? That usually it's the oldest ones of the family that become CEOs and they do really well. And I kind of thought, now why would that be? Sometimes I think, this is me saying this from my years of learning and studying, that sometimes when parents or couples get children, their firstborn, they have more stamina. They are able to attend to them more easily and readily, and it's not the demands for the household to be um, run with a lot of energy, because you don't have a lot to do when you just got one, but one still demands attention, and we have to kind of know what we want to do and how what we expect and how we want to develop that child. So with that said, the oldest ones is really important to put a good impact on them, because I know I've said that before. I've said many times that it's kind of important to put as much energy and much studies and learning and time in with that old one, because Google also said that, and they're not the only one that said that. A lot of the psychology books on children and a lot of the psychoanalysts and the psychologists and child therapies individual, they have learned and done research and found that children do the greatest impact that we can put on them. That's what I'm saying. Is from their birth to 5 years. So sometimes we some of us who adopt children or become surrogate parents to them, we get them after those ages. Many times we try to do something with them after the age of 5. They may be 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, maybe even 12. And they're still learning, as we all are learning. And so, but some of the parents, the foster parents, or the ones who try to adopt them, begin to wonder, what's going on? Why can't this child learn? Why? And it's not that the child cannot learn, it's just that they have developed those habits from their beginning stage. That's why it's so important to emphasize the learning abilities, behaviors that we want from them at these early ages. And we all have our ideals of how the children should be raised, okay? But when you do the research and you do the study, you will find that organized ways of dealing with children will probably bring the best results. So I want to share my little observations and studies that I have noticed about children. One thing, and this is everyone, because a lot of this I learned too as this older age, within the last decades, couple of decades or so, and that was when I, found Rhonda Byrne's book, The Secret. I know some people's like, oh, I'm so sick of hearing that, but the thing of it is, I learned from that book that speaking positive things, visualizing positivity, accepting positivity, and nothing else, that life does move more smoothly. Because there's a lot of things that's going to be happening in those children's lives, in our lives, as well. And when those things are happening that are not so pleasant, and vision becomes dull because of the things that let us down, the people that let us down, the ventures that we're not successful in, or we seem not successful in, because every failure is really a learning experience. But they can be very painful. And that's what we have to remember in our endeavor to be successful in life. So when we speak positive to those children, we give them a better vision. We give them a vision because, and I'll give you an example. I've heard sometimes people have said, oh, and I'm going to use a different dialect, so pardon my English. You ain't gonna never be nothing. You ain't gonna do this. You're just heading for destruction. And that's speaking something before it happens. And so when that is put into children, they kind of, some subconsciously, I don't think they will do it intentionally. We never do things harmful totally intentionally. There's always something in the background subconsciously, or a nag or something that makes us feel that why try, give up. But when positive vibes and energy is given, then that gives hope. And somehow that, and they always told us when we were children that a spark of light, a spark of sunshine, a spark of happiness, great energy, always, it lights up the pathway for people, for yourself as well as others. And so I learned that it doesn't, when things look dim, that's just the your physical eyes that see that they look dim. We have to look beyond them and look into the spiritual eye. You understand? See, the spiritual eye can help you see beyond what's today with hope, knowing that things don't have to be the way they look all the time. And, I always kind of express that. And whatever I say, that something can look not so good and all the time be a wonderful thing developing, you know. So with children, I've also seen that some parents, many parents, quite a number of them, allow those children to have all kinds of free time with no structure. If you don't start a structure when they are young, I mean, it's good to have them to have freedom because we had, total freedom with my family, and I just love this. I love that freedom, because it's play, you do what you want to do, but like I say, there probably is a smaller percentage. I couldn't ask the question right because if you don't ask Google the question right, they're going to dance around with you and you're going to be there for hours trying to figure out to get them to understand what you're saying because no one knows what's in your head, but you. And sometimes we don't know exactly what's in our head. So when we ask something, we got to know how to ask it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't ask the question because I can hardly phrase it correctly in the first place of how much percentage of, well, let's see what I mean by I can't phrase it correctly. But the question I really wanted to know was, out of the children who have succeeded in life, what is the percentage of them who was actually just born knowing exactly what to do and when to do it and how to do it? You see, and so there has to be a way to do that, ask that question. And I haven't figured that out yet, but I will be concentrating on it and thinking about it and, trying to figure out how to ask the right kind of questions. This becomes a challenge, when your questions are deep. So I wanted to know that, cause the reason why I wanted to do it that way, because see, first of all, a lot of, a lot of, not a lot, but the majority of children, I believe, have to be guided and directed. Those lucky parents who got the children who must have lived here in another life and learned so much that they already knew what they wanted. And I may be one of them because I always knew that I wanted to get my doctorate degree when I was little. I always knew that I loved education, but then that may have been due to my excellent teachers I had. I had so many wonderful teachers. I had some great teachers. They were just marvelous, and so they always gave me the energy to want to do something, to be something, to go somewhere, and just do wonderful things because they were so beautiful. I just thank God for those teachers. I thank Him that He put so many wonderful teachers in my life, and they, I just love them. I always love teachers, and that's probably one of my reasons I wanted to go into teaching. So, but I believe that the parent should observe their child. Find out what makes that child tick. What do you see? Let's see. I bet the light changed again when this happens. I never hardly do this until I'm doing a video, but and I don't know what that is. I don't know why. I don't know how come. But anyways, I believe that if the parent watch the child, watch what they like. And you have to be creative and you have to be prayerful. Because I'm telling you, if you don't put that prayer in, you might be just wasting a lot of time trying to figure out how to get something done. I'm telling you, because I have so many projects and stuff I want to do and start doing, don't do. And even when I pray, I guess God says, you got to pray the right way, that you're praying that others may be blessed, that you will be on the right path, because there is a right path and a path that can be destructive, you understand? So developing them in those things that they like, that will be a big help because, excuse me, the things that people like is one of my colleagues that said that if you do the work that you like, then you'll never work. You'll never be working. It would be like a beautiful hobby. And he puts it like, if you do what you love, do the profession that you love doing, and you'll never work a day in your life. So he's amazing. Anyway, so I'm saying that if you observe the child and see what they like and can get them involved with that activity and pull on all of the areas that's close to that activity and keep them in something constructive, have a pattern, a program for your children. And expect them to do it and give them rewards, when they, I mean, we're not going to get paid for everything that we do that's wonderful, you know what I'm saying, but to teach them that it is rewarding to do something constructive, that's what I'm saying. So, like when you can just show them that, you know, you'll be doing what you want, like doing, and also this is reward in itself, and then there's an extra reward for it, because they will be enjoying what they like doing. Then you reward them for keeping a good structure all week. I think that's really nice. Something a little extra that you want to reward them with. I don't know. This depends on your budget, and you can do little simple things, just spend an extra couple of hours with them that week, or do a wonderful activity that they like doing as a family. So whenever we are doing bringing up children, a lot of people know this, some people already know this, but sometimes we don't really think about it because we have so many other things that are going on. So now those that have already been in a pattern, the greatest thing you can do to them is speak life into them. That's about the greatest thing you can do. And have patience and be careful how you speak to them. That's the most important, because even when a child is acting up, and if you sometimes you may, even as an adult, have to just not even say anything and kind of see where they are and see what you believe that God will give you to help them, because whenever they're acting up or acting out and misbehaving, we that's something that's going on with them, and they may not even be aware of it. You might have difficulty thinking, look, this one is going to wear my patient this minute, but think about what you can do to help them redirect their behavior. And so I will sum up what I had to say, and that is that the main thing that I guess I would like for you to take away is have a good program established for the child at an early age. If and I know it's going to take a little more, but if you get them to doing something they like doing, you won't have to 100% supervise it. You might have to supervise it periodically, every moment, or not moment, but every other few minutes or whatever, and just kind of peep on them, see that they're doing, they're not being destructive, and it's something that, not dangerous, but, things that are safety things, and some, it may be as simple as building blocks, because Frank Lloyd Wright's mother did that with him, and look at all of the beautiful buildings and things that he made. He's one of the most famous builder in history, so those type of things, like, and but you, like I say, you want to do, some children are a little more rambunctious, so you want them to do things, safe things, but there's so many things that people can do, in their homes, you have the children to do a practice, and sometimes, you really have to be a teacher yourself if you're a parent. You really do. You can't just sit around and drink beer and act like everything is nonchalant. You got to give it some, you got to give them some attention, because others may not be able to direct them or know where they are. Because you are the parent, and you can't expect the teachers and everyone else to raise the child because they're in their care. That it starts home. Charity starts at home. The love, the giving starts right at home. You know, not at the classroom, not at the church Sunday school. And it's a big help. Sunday schools are a big help, because, if you got a good Sunday school where they're teaching children things and showing them how to love and behave, that's wonderful. That's so great. That's really wonderful. Because but church is the basics. Those are basic foundations. Some people, because it's something that's going to be with you all your days if you learn it right. How to respect other people's property. How like same thing you learn it in kindergarten, at first school, early school. How to be polite, how to socialize, how to get along, because all of those things are very important too. And, teaching children to just respect others, as they respect themselves, this is very important too. So I hope that you understood that what I was saying, and that is that all those hours of letting a child do whatever they want to from their birthdays on up, you should be almost, observing that child really deeply around the first month, and just sitting there playing with them all day long. You should have some testing things to build their little hands, and do some more research on, because I haven't done the basic researches on developing the child at from the birth to 5 6 months, but I know after they start talking and walking, I know more about those levels than I do the pre levels of school, before they reach the two, and everything. Those are important developments, So maybe one day I'll be able to do a video on that, what I've discovered and what I learned about it more. I know some things about it, but I have not studied it intensely like I have after, like the first grades, the sixth and middle school English and stuff, and middle school grades, But it is important to make sure they are developed in an early stage of life. And I mean a really early stage of life. There used to be a saying that people discipline them in their womb. They read their books to them, and they speak softly to them, and they used to their voice. They get used to their voices, and the voices that they hear, and so they have a like for whatever it is. Like if it's a book, certain book, they like that book because they have been trained and they've been given that sound of whatever that book is saying when they were young. So those are important things. And those who are already doing a great job and putting your children in the world, who are doing constructive things, who have not given up hope, just running around smoking, doping, and don't know how to develop themselves. Because sometimes if you missed it, they have to be also in a level where they understand, I missed some things. So let me spend my time in the library, developing myself or doing something constructive instead of running around doing nothing, being idle. That doesn't, to me, it doesn't compute well. If you want something, you got to kind of work for something. But anyway, I want to say thank you all for watching this and supporting me with your likes and shares and whatever you do. May the God bless you and you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you. Bye bye. Until next time.